Welcome back to the Bear Down Podcast, where it's all about everything Arkansas A&M, and our Black Bears sitting at 2-0 on the season as we kick off season 10. This team is looking to make it 4 in a row, and they're off to a great start. Now, in today's video, we'll look back at the two games that we just played. Also, we'll look ahead, get ready for our Ole Miss game, and also we'll take a look at the recruiting board. It should be a fun one, guys. If you're excited, make sure you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're brand new. So we started things off in week 2, taking on then-ranked number 3 Stanford, and it was a close one. We pulled it out 34-24. We had to put up 17 in the second half to finally close the game. Gabe Perez had a great start to the season, 23 of 28, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, completed 82% of his passes, but the shocker was the ground game. Corey Green, the sophomore, monster day on the ground, 18 carries, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaged close to 8.5 yards per carry. We really do like the way this run game is looking with Green and Bain. Bain had a slow start, 6 carries for 23 yards. The passing game, Mike Warren led the way, 10 grabs, 200 yards, and a touchdown. Ashton Ryan, 4 for 43 and a score. Albert Flowers, 3 for 36. Then you had Kenny Holloway with 2 for 23. Foreman had 2 for 17, and Bain out of the backfield, 2 for 17 as well. Defensive side of the ball, we go. We had a tough time slowing down this Stanford offense. We finally got to them in the second half. Chris Johnson led the way, 10 tackles with 3 TFLs. Smith had 7. Donnell Swan had 7 as well, a TFL and a sack. Thomas had 6 tackles. Wright had 5. Payne and Forwarder each with 4. We were able to get after the quarterback 3 times, with Wilson having a sack. Hester had a sack, and then Donnell Swan had his sack. We were able to force 2 fumbles, one from Chris Johnson, one from Hester. All in all, just a great game for us, man. We were looking for a competition. We scheduled the number 3 team in the nation, and they gave us a tough one, man. We outgained them 498 to 459. They did outrush us, though, 232 yards on the ground, but we were able to keep them under 300 yards passing. Defense did a great job, 5 of 10 on third down for Stanford, but we were 3 of 6. Inside the red zone, I like to be 100% inside the red zone. We only had 83%. And as you can see, Stanford actually held the ball longer than we did, almost 25 minutes, but we were able to hold on and get the win. And then we hit the road to take on Army, our first time taking on a military school, and we just demolished them, 54-7. It wasn't even close. We blew the game open in the second quarter, 23 points. Then in the third, we put up 21, and then closing things out in the fourth. Gabe, another 300 yards through the air, 18 of 29, 301, and 2 scores. But again, the ground game. Corey Green goes over 100 yards for the second time, 116 and 3 scores this time. Bain got going, 55 yards and a touchdown. Gabe showed off his legs as well, 28 yards on the ground. Receiving-wise, it was the Ashton Ryan show. 7 catches, 134 and a touchdown. Mike, 584 and a score. Foreman, 3 for 47. Albert Flowers off to a slow start this year, 2 catches for 18 yards. Then Green had 2 for 23. And the defense showed dominance this week, man. Chris Johnson, 8 tackles in the TFL. Smith had 7 tackles. Payne had 4. So did Thomas. Player of the game, though, I feel like Donnell Swan has really stepped up. He's playing that sub-linebacker role in the nickel package. 3 tackles, a sack, and a pick 6. We are utilizing his speed, his size, his coverage ability, and his tackling ability. We were able to get a few more sacks this week. Hester had 1, Browning had 1, Alston had 1. Then you had Holland down here with the interception. Just a great game for our Black Bears. I know it's a lesser competition, but, we have to have these kind of games. That way we can work on some things. And I felt like we got things going, especially in the run game, 226 yards on the ground, holding Army to only 89 yards. We threw for 300 yards. Again, the third down is becoming a concern, 6 of 12 on third down. That's not good. We were perfect on fourth, perfect inside the red zone. We held the ball for 21 minutes and had over 600 yards of total offense. We're 2-0 on the season, and it feels good. Here's an early look at your top 25 polls. After 3 weeks of football, you've got A&M sitting in at number 1, 2-0 on the season. Right behind us, though, probably our biggest competition this year, the Texas Longhorns. They're 2-0 after beating Ohio State by 10. Michigan is 3. You got Nebraska in at 4. Florida State is 5. Michigan State in at 6. Bama is 7th. You got Arizona in at 8. Navy is 9. Then Mississippi State rounds out your top 10. Then Georgia comes in at 11. You got Missouri at 12. Clemson, they fall 8 spots to 13 after losing to Tulane. UCLA is down 4 spots. They're at 14. You've got Washington at 15. Florida 16. USC is 17. Tulane cracks the top 25 after beating Clemson. They're in at 18. Georgia Tech is 19. You got Oklahoma in at 20. Stanford falls 13 spots after back-to-back losses. They're down to 21st. Pittsburgh is 22nd. Oregon in at 23rd. And then you got Maryland in at 24, and LSU rounds out your top 25. Here's an early look at the race for the Heisman, and Mark Enzo, the big back from Texas. He's the number 1 player on a lot of voters' boards right now. This guy is huge, 6'5", 250. That's a big boy. And you got Gabe in at 2nd. Corey Green cracks the top 5 after 2 impressive games. His first time getting playing time really in an A&M uniform. Then you've got Clint Russell, the other running back for Texas, and Bailey from Tennessee at running back. He's starting to fall a little bit with all these other running backs creeping up the board. So let's take a look at some stats through 2 games. Gabe Perez off to a great start, 637 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions just as of yet. He's averaging just about 319 yards per game with 71 completion percentage. His average throw is about 15 yards. On the ground, again, I'm shocked at how well Corey Green is running the ball. 36 carries for 267 and 5 scores. Again, I don't want to overload him. He's just a sophomore. That's why we have Brandon Bain. We got to get Bain some more touches. Got to get him going more in the offense. He's only got 19 carries for 78 yards and 1 touchdown. We got to get that up. I want them to be about even. If Green has if he ends the season with about 1,100 yards, I want Bain to end the season with somewhere between 700 and 800 yards. Mitchell and cleanup, he's got 22 yards rushing, and Gabe Perez has 17. Out wide, our receiving group, man, we have a lot of weapons this year, and it's kind of hard to spread the ball around to them. You got Mike Warren leading the way, 15 grabs for 284 and 2 scores. Ashton Ryan, 11 catches, 177 and 2 scores. Dominic Foreman has 5 for 64. And Albert Flowers, man, after an impressive freshman year, he's off to a slow start these first 2 games, 5 for 54. I'm thinking because he is option number 1 in our offense, he's going to be against some of the best corners in the country. Each team is putting their best corner on Flowers, so it's hard for him to get any space to make catches. Brandon Bain, 3 catches for 13 yards. Green has 2 for 23. And Kyle Holloway, I called him Kenny earlier. Kyle Holloway has 2 for 23. Taking a look at the offensive line, that right guard position, I guess it's a hard position to block. Tyrone McMillan has 2 sacks already, and Alfred Robinson has given up a sack as well. If you remember last year, our right guard last year gave up almost 10 sacks. So he must be going up against some of the best D tackles in the country. To the defensive side of the ball we go. I think we've got another great middle linebacker in Chris Johnson. He's leading the way with 18 tackles, 4 TFLs on the season. Brian Smith has 14 tackles in at corner. Donnell Swan, like I mentioned before, playing that sub linebacker role, 10 tackles, 2 TFLs, and 2 sacks. Jonathan Thomas, the free safety, 10 tackles and 3 TFLs. You got Jake Payne with 8 tackles. Kyle Wright, Forwarda, and Nelson each with 5 tackles. Hester, Anthony Robinson each with 4. Then you've got Kevin Smith down here with 3. Taking a look at our sack leaders, Leon Hester with 2 sacks. Same with Donnell Swan. They've got Wilson, Browning, and Austin each with 1 sack. Turnover department, Donnell Swan has an interception. Then B.J. Holland, the two-way player, he's got an interception as well. We forced 3 fumbles so far this season. Kyle Browning, the JUCO transfer, has 1. And you've got Chris Johnson forcing 1 and Leon Hester, and we've recovered none of them. And defensive touchdown, shout out to Donnell Swan with his pick 6. True freshman Dustin Wood off to a great start, 3 for 3 on the season with a long of 43, and he's perfect on extra points. Ryan Barnes has 4 punts for 167 yards. Kickoff return, Jake Payne, he's solid, 8 returns for 172. And then on the punt returns, 3 for 18. So, fellas, it is time for my favorite part of the podcast. Taking a look at the top 5 plays from this past week. Let's jump right into it, man. Kicking things off with number 5. Come on, offense. Let's go. 4 wide. Okay, going back to the air. Rolls out to the left. Boom. Ashton Ryan again. Come on, Ashton. All the way, Ashton. All the way to the house. Touchdown, Bears. Ashton Ryan, the big tight end, showing off the speed, getting it into the end zone. Here's number 4. This is a big 4th down. 4th and goal, 51 seconds on the clock. Pass. Make the tackle, Morris. Let's go. Woo! Defense coming up big. And at number 3, bring their tight end in motion to the left. Let's go, Swan with the safety. Yes, sir. Defense coming up big. This is number 2. No safety help over the top. Oh, why'd you throw it there? Mike Ward, go get it, baby. Touchdown, Bears. And your top play from the week is 2nd and 6, 4 wide. Another screen. There it is. There it is, Swan. Donnell Swan. Come on, baby. Come on, all the way, Swan. All the way, baby. Touchdown, Bears. Now it's time to hit the road, fellas. This is Coach Thomas's last year at Arkansas A&M, but he's still doing an amazing job at recruiting. Let's take a look at this year's recruiting board. Let's start things off with the players that have already committed to the team. First up is Jason Carr, a 4-star receiver from Dallas, Texas, 6'2", 210 pounds. And he comes in as a 69 overall. Great speed, 88 speed, 77 agility, 84 acceleration. Great pair of hands, 71 catching, 78 route running. Now he's not going to wow you with the crazy catches. The catch in traffic is okay. We got to work on his release, though. Only a 57 on the release. I like his ability to get I like his ability in space with a nice juke move. He's got great speed coming in as a true freshman. He's more of a developmental player, I feel like, but we're adding more depth to an already good receiving group. And talk about adding more depth with a star. This is Jonathan Hawthorne from Sunset, Florida, the number 3 receiver in this recruiting class, 6'2", 208, a 5-star prospect, and he's going to be calling Conway home. And this dude is a blazer. 94 speed, 78 agility, 93 acceleration, a great pair of hands, great route runner, spec catches there. He gets off the jam as well, and he's got great catch in traffic for somebody his size. We're excited to have him here, man. This group of receivers is still kind of young. We don't have any upperclassmen really, so he's going to be able to get some playing time early with the guys that are already on campus. As most of you guys have noticed, our Black Bears run a multiple defensive set, and we're looking to add more depth at the D tackle position, especially in our 3-4 scheme. So we went and scouted Derek Gray from Alaska, 6', 306, the number 3 defensive tackle in this class, and he's a 4-star prospect, and this dude is a gem. Great power move. He has great block shedding, decent hit power, great tackler, decent play rec. He's just a big body that can clog up the middle that allow our linebackers to come up and make plays. And the same could be said about Chris Harrison from North Carolina, 6'3", 272, a 3-star prospect. He comes in as a 77 overall. He's also a gem. Great power move. The finesse really isn't there. His block shedding is kind of low, but he's a great tackler, and he has great hit power. He has 85 strength as well. In the 3-4 package, I want to be able to utilize all D tackles across the front and then have our edge rushers at outside linebacker and our 2 best linebackers at middle linebacker. So having big fellas that can get off blocks, that can jam up the middle is important for this defense. Now to the top of the board we go. The number 1 guy on our board right now is Edward O'Connor. 6'2", 205 from Eagle Pass, Texas, the number 13th ranked athlete in this class, and he's a 5-star prospect. And he could play all over the field, guys. 98 speed, 90 agility, 93 acceleration. We could put him at free safety. We could put him at wide receiver. We could put him at running back. It doesn't matter. With that 98 speed and that size, he is going to be a matchup nightmare for a lot of defenses. And right now we have a small lead over Kansas. With Donnell Swan playing more in the box and as sub linebacker, we're looking for a coverage linebacker. This is Anthony Peterson from Wisconsin, 5'10", 178. The number 1 strong safety in this class. He's a 4-star prospect. And, I like him. 88 speed, 88 acceleration, Great tackler. The zone coverage is solid, 75. He has 96 press. So, even with Donnell playing down in the box, I feel more comfortable with Anthony playing over the top if we need coverage that way. Here's another athlete that we have on our board. This is Kevin McDonald from Georgia, 5'11", 203, a four-star prospect, the number 21 ranked athlete in this class. He's got 84 speed, 77 agility, 94 acceleration. He could play tight end, it looks like. 78 catching, 77 spec catch, 80 catch in traffic, 75 route running. He could also be a running back at 5'11", 203. He's more of a power back, especially with that 84 speed. He's got 89 carrying and 91 ball carrier vision. I'm interested to see what Coach Thomas thinks he could do with this kid. It depends on where the need is at the most. A&M does a great job at recruiting offensive linemen, and I think we found another one. This is Luis Brown from Brownsville, Florida, 6'6", 271. Four-star prospect, the number 8 tackle in this class. And he's got great pass blocking, 84 pass block, 80 run block, 85 impact, and 88 strength. He's your prototypical left tackle. We're looking for another center. This is Jermaine Thomas from Morristown, Tennessee, 6'2", 293, a four-star prospect. We've got a small lead over Memphis, and he comes in as a 79 overall, more of a run-blocking center, 83 run block, 81 impact, 79 pass block. Again, we've done a great job at recruiting offensive linemen, I feel like, in this entire series, and adding Jermaine would be another great addition. I feel like you can't go wrong adding more linebackers to a linebacking group. That's pretty solid. This is Aaron Thomas, a four-star prospect from Round Rock, Texas, 6'3", 221. He's the number 5 outside linebacker in this class. And we've got a dogfight ahead of us, man, but this kid is going to be special. 80 speed, 91 acceleration, great tackling. He gets off of blocks very well, and he's got very good zone coverage. Now, like I said, we are in a dogfight for him. Michigan has the lead. Nebraska, Texas, and Alabama are all in front of us. But we like this kid so much, and we're going to keep him on our board. Another player to keep your eye on is Brent Mills from Libertyville, Illinois, 6'4", 213, four-star prospect, another outside linebacker. And this kid has got the juice. 82 speed, 88 acceleration, 88 tackle, great hit power. The only problem is he really doesn't get off of blocks very well. He doesn't have great coverage ability, but I think he could be a star in our defense. Think a taller Ben Bowen with that hit power and that tackling ability. We are losing a middle linebacker this year. Bo Moore from Oklahoma could step in, though. 5'11", 239, the number 3 ranked middle linebacker, four-star prospect. And again, we're in a dogfight for him. He's got great speed, 85 speed, 81 acceleration, solid tackling, great hit power in pursuit, and he gets off of blocks very well. But again, we're in a dogfight. Nebraska, Notre Dame, and Wyoming all ahead of us, with Oklahoma State right behind us. With players graduating early last year, it kind of left a hole in our secondary. We're still looking for more corners to step in, and Ryan Calhoun from California could be that guy. Four-star prospect, 5'11", 192, the number 9 corner in this class. And he's got 96 speed, y'all, 79 agility, 96 acceleration. He's got 90 zone coverage, 79 man, 76 press. So he could actually probably play free safety for us and be a star. Jonathan Thomas, I think, has one more year, or this might be his senior year. If Calhoun decides to come at A&M, he could move into that starting role at free safety. Another player on the offensive line, this is Sean Hayes from right here in Arkansas, 3-star prospect, 6'2", 283, the number 23 guard in the class. And he's a project. I mean, he's got solid traits, 82 pass block, 77 run, 81 impact, and 81 strength. Back to the offensive side of the ball, we go with Pat Johnson from Arkansas, 4-star wide receiver, 6'1", 190. He's the number 8 receiver in this class. A-State and Mississippi State are right above us, but we're starting to pull away from TCU and Nebraska, and this kid is going to be a talent. 84 speed, 89 acceleration, 78 catching, 83 route running, 78 catching traffic. Just a big body receiver that can make a play downfield. Hopefully we can keep him attracted to the team, and it will come and hopefully it does not come down between us and Arkansas State. We're looking to add another back this offseason as well. This is Clayton Williams from Tennessee, 6 foot 191, a 4-star prospect, the number 10 running back in this class. And so far, I think he likes A&M. We've got a huge lead over Tennessee, Ohio State, Bama, and Georgia for this prospect, man. 87 speed, 80 agility, 80 acceleration, great break tackle, elusive, has a nice juke move, great carrying. Corey Green, Brandon Bain, solid backs, man, but we're looking to keep that stable built up with great players for our future. Back to the defensive side of the ball we go. We got a defensive end on the board here. This is Will Slater from Mississippi, 6'2", 237, a 4-star prospect, the number 2 defensive end in this class. And again, we are in a dogfight, Mississippi State. Back to the defensive side of the ball we go. We're looking for more ends. This is Will Slater from Mississippi, the number 2 defensive end in this class, 4-star prospect, 6'2", 237. And right now we're sitting in 4th on his board, but this kid is going to be a talent, man. 73 speed. He's got great power move, finesse move, block shed, D tackle. I'm thinking D tackle for sure with that 73 speed, but he's got 83 tackle, 82 hit power, 82 pursuit, 81 play rec. If he was a little bit faster, I think he would be a great option to be a stand-up outside linebacker in our 3-4 defense. But if we can put a little weight on him, get a weight plan for him, make him about 250, 260, he could play D tackle or like defensive end in a 3-4 defense for us. Last 2 players on our board. This is Chris Irvin from Colorado, the number 5 strong safety in the class, 6'4", 202, 3-star prospect. Right now we're in a dogfight with Iowa State, and he is fast. 91 speed, 88 agility, 90 acceleration, great zone coverage, 76 and 75 press. But I think that lead is a little bit too much to overcome. Iowa State is going to get themselves a great player. And then the last player on our board, another guy from Alaska. This is Michael Barber from Lakes, Alaska, 5'11", 194, 4-star prospect, the number 14 athlete in this class. Again, Swiss Army knife, 88 speed, 86 agility, 90 acceleration. He's got man coverage ability. He's got zone coverage ability, pursuit, and play rec. He can run routes. He's got great spec catch. He can break tackles, truck. He's got a nice juke move and spin move. Decent carrying, so he could play running back. He could play safety, or he can play a corner for us. Just a Swiss Army knife, another one for Coach Thomas and the Black Bears. So let's take a peek ahead, man. We've got 2 more games out on the road before we can return back home. We head down to Ole Miss to take on the Rebels. They're 1-1 on the season. And then we head to Tennessee to take on the Vols. I think this Mississippi game is going to be tough. This Ole Miss game might be tough for us. And we've never played Tennessee, so this should be interesting. And we've got Arkansas for the rivalry game. Top 25 matchup against Georgia Tech in a few weeks. And we've got Auburn, LSU, Mississippi State. This should be a real good game for us, man. They're 3-0 on the season. A-State later in November, Bama on the road, and then we got Georgia State to close things out. If we keep playing the way we're playing, we might be able to run the table, but there are a couple games on this schedule that have me nervous. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's going to be an interesting season, so buckle up. It's going to be a fun one. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's podcast, guys. Our Black Bears off to a great start, 2-0 on the season, and we continue our road trip as we head to Ole Miss to take on the 1-1 Rebels next. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. Don't forget to ring that bell, join the Noti Squad, and make sure you guys hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. And come through and join the Discord fan for exclusive content. And we'll talk from Ole Miss when we take on the 1-1 Rebels. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.